What's going on, everybody? Welcome and welcome back to my channel, Seasons Change. My name is Desiree if you are new here, and we are going to continue the moving series with this video entitled Why I Am Selling My Home and I'm moving back to an apartment. Okay, I am on lunch. I'm in the car at my job in the parking lot, so if you see some edits and whatnot, just ignore it. The reason I'm selling my home, plain and simple, I'm tired. I can't do it anymore. At the end of the day, my home needs more repairs, more replacements, and more installs than I can afford at this time. And I do not want to take out any loans. I don't want to do a HELOC loan. I don't want to do any of that. Every now and again, my home stresses me out because I have to get some repairs done. I'm getting stressed out just by hoping I can make it to November 15th before I turn my heat on. It's getting cold and I don't want to turn my heat on right now. It's always been my goal to never turn my heat on until November 15th. But again, that is based upon the weather here in Michigan. But anyway, I don't have the financial resources or the financial backing to get the things repaired, replaced, and installed on my home that I need. I'm not going to go into the numbers of how much I need, just know I need a lot. But also, with that being said, I have never, since I've been in that house, I have never felt comfortable in that house. My spirit has never really been settled in that house. I said things before, like I enjoy being a homeowner. I love my house. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I was saying that to sell it to myself. And it just didn't work. My spirit knows better. The human is taking over. But my spirit knows good and well, Desiree, you don't want to be in this house. You don't like this house. You do not like this house. Y'all, I had to admit that to myself. When I made the final decision to go ahead on and sell my house, and this was a 2-year long thought out process, I had to take everything into consideration, and I had to be bare bones honest about everything, about how I felt about the house when I first saw it, when I did the walkthrough, after I moved in, and all the things that transpired since then. I had to be flat out honest. I was so angry with myself that I settled for this house that I didn't know what to do. I was so angry with myself, but at the same time, it was one of those things. So that's where this is like everything else. It's a lesson that you have to learn. And I've learned that I cannot be a single homeowner. Absolutely not. I cannot be a single homeowner. Taking care of a house on one paycheck, that's a lot to do. And when the house needs a multitude of repairs, that's way above. Okay, way above. I can't afford it. I spent 40 plus years of my life stressed out for other people and doing for other people. I'm not going to spend the rest of my life, because I'm not going to endure 50. I'm not going to spend the rest of my life stressing out over trying to get this repaired or that repaired on the house. I want to do carefree living for me. And that means if the stove goes out, I'm just making a phone call. The refrigerator goes out, I'm making a phone call. If something happens to the window, I'm making a phone call. And none of that is coming out of my pocket. You understand what I'm saying? I have never been comfortable in my home since I've been there. Never. I dread going home sometimes. Y'all, they doing some work across the street from my job. They've been over here for 2 months and they done got on our nerves. They done got our water cut off once because they were over there playing. We had to shut down operations because they cut the water off. Actually, they did it twice and didn't say nothing. But anyway, yeah, I can't do it anymore. I rushed to buy this house because I was in a crunch. And although I knew it needed some cosmetic work, I did not realize that beneath that cosmetic work is some real work that needs to be done. And at the end of the day, you guys, I can't afford it. I bought a lemon of a house. And you're grown when you can admit that. I bought a lemon of a house. And when you are a first-time home buyer, if you don't have the right people around you to help guide you, you may make those types of mistakes like I did. No, I didn't have anybody with me to help guide me that have purchased homes before. Did I ask? Yes, I did multiple times. And I got a no each and every time. So I went into, the home buying process blinded, even though I did my own research and asked questions. I did not ask many of the right questions that all of a sudden came to my head after the fact. And I'm going to be honest with you, when you are in a time crunch and when it comes to buying a house, don't do that to yourself. You're going to pick the wrong house. I picked the wrong house, but I picked the right house to find out that I cannot be a single homeowner. Being a single homeowner is not for me. It ain't it. It ain't it. I know some people would say, but just thug it out for a couple of more years. Now, I'm not thugging it out no more. I've been thugging it out for 40-something years with other things and other people. I'm tired of thugging it out. That's what we used to say back in my day. I'm tired of thugging it out. If you want to thug it out, you go right on ahead and thug it out. But Desiree is done with thugging it out, okay? She's done. She done. She want to rest. She want it easy, okay? And living in an apartment or living in a townhome is much easier than being a homeowner, because everything is on you being a homeowner, and I cannot afford everything being on me. I give you an example. I was saving up money to purchase a brand new stove. Brand new stove. I had saved up $1,000 to purchase a brand new stove. And guess what happened? Baby girl right here decided that she needed some work done. And what you think I'm gonna fix first? And when I started to save that money back up, guess what else happened? I broke my finger. And had to pay all those medical bills. I started to save the money up again. Guess what happened? She needed her tire pressure monitoring system, one of them, replaced. Every time I was saving up money to get something fixed in the house or replaced in the house, something else happened. Something else happened. And it's like, you know what? I'm over it. I'm over it. Sometimes you just got to be honest with yourself. I'm over it. I want the rest of my life to be easy. So that means I'm going to rent. I've had my taste of home ownership. I have enjoyed my taste of home ownership. I have learned about home ownership more than I care to in my 4 years. It's bittersweet for me. It may be beautiful for you, but it's bittersweet for me. And I know I don't want to do this again, not as a single homeowner, no. No. I will rent an apartment for the rest of my life, or rent a townhouse for the rest of my life before I buy another house. And to be honest, you guys, even though I wanted to sell my house, my decision was to sell my house. I wanted to sell my house and look for another house. But when I started looking at the property taxes of where I wanted to live, y'all, I said, no, the property taxes are eating me up right now where I live. But if I decide to move back to the side of town I want to go to, those property taxes are going to eat me up even worse, because right now those property taxes are like $4,000, $4,500. Once you go buy a house, the cap comes off. And your property taxes can go up by $500, $1,000, $1,200, and you're stuck paying that. And that was, to me, I said that was the final straw about me not wanting a house. When I saw the property taxes and how they jumped up from last year to this year, I was like, yeah, no. And I'm not just talking about my property taxes. I'm talking about the property taxes in the area where I want to live. I was watching looking at houses that were on the market last year in this particular area, and I'm looking at the property taxes, and they literally jumped $500 to $1,700. And I was like, yeah, no, buddy, we're not doing that. We are not doing that. That's why it got to the point where I said in August of this year, June of this year, I was just going to move into an apartment. I'm just going to move into an apartment. Man, you be careful over there before you get hit. Jesus. But yeah, the property taxes were insane. And I'm just overpaying for stuff that I'm not getting anything out of. For example, for my lawn care, I paid $2,350 this season for my lawn care. And the work that I got this year was the absolute worst. They ran into my garage, didn't think I was at home when they did it. I got them on video, had to send it to the owner because the owner did not come out that day to cut my grass. I had to send it to the owner. He was like, oh, we'll take care of it. That's an easy fix. Okay, take care of it. Take care of it, but you're going to take some money off of what I've paid you already. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, the work has been shoddy as I don't know what. I come home one week, a couple weeks ago, there's a guy on the riding lawnmower on my lawn, like he outside, cutting the grass that's like 10 miles long, 10 acres long. I mean, he's literally on this thing like he's riding a motorbike, just hopping up and down. And I'm sitting there in the car just looking at him. Like, I know you're not acting the fool like this on my grass. I don't have 10 acres of grass. So why are you riding this thing like I got 10 acres of grass? I mean, he's literally just hopping up and down on this thing. Like, dude, you're not on no damn racetrack or whatever you call those things. Motocross, is that what it is? Motocross? I'm like, yeah, no, it's shoddy. It's shoddy. I'm like, I spent $2,400 for this. I'm just over it. I'm over homeownership. Whoever said that the American dream was to buy a house with a white picket fence, whoever sold that to all of us lied. Because I'm going to tell you what the American dream really is. Having a place to lay your head at night, whether it's an apartment, a condo, a house, or a townhouse. Having food in your refrigerator, in your freezer, and in your pantry. And if you got a deep freezer, in your deep freezer. Making sure your lights are on, gas is on, water is on. If you got internet, making sure that's on. If you got a cell phone, making sure that's on. Making sure you have gas in your car if you have a car. Making sure you have money for transportation if you do not have a vehicle. And making sure you have clothes on your back and shoes on your feet. That's the American dream. Just trying to live day to day. As long as I got a door that I can close, I can go into when I get off work and turn around and lock it, and I can shower, I can cook something to eat that night, I can lay my head in the bed and sleep comfortably, and I can go to sleep knowing that my lights are on, my bills are paid, my gas is on, my water is on. That's my American dream. That's my American dream. I don't want to live somebody else's life. I only want to live the life that God gave me. And if that requires me to go backwards, which means to go back to an apartment, then I will do that. So, if you want me to explain a little bit more about why I'm selling my home and moving back to an apartment, just put the comment down below. And I will talk to you soon.